Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hi, nice to see you all. Good morning, and welcome to our 20-minute meetup community practice. Welcome. I see you're joining in from around the world, which is wonderful. Welcome. I hope also Nigel is joining. I don't know if he got confused with the time, but maybe he's here. Coming back at 10 a.m. Eastern is when we practice meetup. So let's start by holding our little finger, just taking a few breaths here. Just getting into the jinshin atmosphere, feeling for the pulsation, bringing awareness to our body. Today, I wanted to practice a flow with you that opens the heart chakra, that harmonizes our deep emotions. And of course, this is the heart flow. The heart flow is good for many things. It moves through the heart, through the kidneys, and it moves through the arm. So you can already figure out that it's good for many different projects. So just switch to the other little finger. So people are still joining, and we're just getting ready to jump into the flow. So the heart flow begins in the heart, and then it moves out into the chest. It moves through the upper arm. One part moves through the upper arm, through the underarm, here the upper arm onto the little finger side, into the little finger. So people who have a heart attack, sometimes we hear them complain about tingling in the little finger side of the arm, right? So on the left side in particular. So that is because the heart flow moves through there. There's also a part that moves to the opposite kidney. So if you practice a right flow, it moves into the left kidney. So it's also great for our adrenals. And so there's a relationship between the kidneys and the heart. And even sometimes when we have heart projects, it can be due to overburdening of the kidneys. So just think about this relationship of kidneys and heart, and also anxiety and panic that we feel right here in the heart center, in the heart chakra. The kidney flow will harmonize that. It calms down our anxiety, our fear. So there's a nice relationship between those two flows. And let's jump into the flow now. As all of you are joining, we're going to practice the heart flow today. So the first step, and we'll do both sides of the first step. So really just feeling which side feels comfortable for you, holding 11 and 17. And I like to hold the 17, like placing my thumb right onto that 17. Like you can kind of push your finger, the top of your thumb, right into that 17. And when you do that, you may feel a tender spot. So let's take a few breaths here, and then we'll just hold the other side. So again, if you're practicing the right adjustment, it moves to the left kidney. If you're practicing the left, it moves to the right kidney. And also this flow moves through the throat. So it's good for throat projects and eyes. It moves through the eyes. And so if you look at the illustration, you see how it moves up straight through the eyes. So heart flow and eye projects. And that, like I said, the heart flow moves through the axilla. And so when we look at the heart flow in the core, you see that the first step is holding in the armpit. And so this is why. Okay, because the heart flow moves through the axilla. So one more breath here. And then let's feel the other side. So you only need to practice one side of the flow, really. You can practice both, but one side is fine. So just feeling which side feels more comfortable for you, and then deciding which side you're going to practice this flow on. Probably the first side you went to is the side you will practice, because we innately know where to go. And probably when you first went here, that's what feels more comfortable for you. But it's good to open up both sides, or at least to the first step of the flow, as the first step gets the whole flow moving. It's the first step is the facilitator to all the other steps in the flow. All right, so let's go back to the side now that feels more comfortable, most comfortable for you, be it the right or the left side. And just taking a breath here. So 17 harmonizes our nervous system and calms our body. So when you are fearful, when you are nervous, also when you have nervous system projects, then this first step is powerful. And 11, of course, helps us to release stress. All right, I already practiced a few times this morning, so I'm going back to this side here. Okay, and you may feel a tender spot right here on the 17. So get in there and then just hold it till it opens up, taking a few breaths, feeling it release. And then you can observe how quickly our body changes. When it opens up, the energy can move freely in the body. And harmonizing the energy in our body. All right, let's take one more breath here. And then the second step is moving our hand away from 17 and placing it on the opposite 22. So 11 and 22, powerful for our respiratory system. Exhaling with 22, inhaling with 11. Exhale with 22. Inhale with 11. So we have this cycle of breath going on, renewing us every time we breathe. So that's why it's so important to bring awareness to our breath, so that we practice a full exhale and a full inhale, so that we can benefit most from the qualities of the breath. And the breath is where healing begins, of course. The heart flow peaks between 12 and 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So if you get tired between 12 and 2, if you feel feverish, if your body talks between 12 and 2, that's the heart flow talking. So you can do it before, like this time is a great time to do it, or after. Or of course you can do it at the time of you feel this. So when something appears at a certain hour of the day, repeatedly, we look at which organ function is leading at that time. So feeling your 22 open, if there is any fullness or congestion or any tenderness, just wait till it opens. And you will probably feel a nice pulsation by now in both locations. That's the energy movement. So the heart flow is an ascending flow. It moves from the chest into the finger, like up. The heart organ itself is a very strong organ, so often it is other energy that burden the heart function energy. And so the heart flow, it harmonizes our deep emotional body. When we trying really hard, trying to do something where we're efforting, it can burden the heart flow and therefore the heart. So be authentic, bring awareness and trust. You know, when we trust, we don't have to try really hard. We know that things will fall into place. And then let's move our hand to the 14 here. 14. And just turn this a little. 14. Opening up our waistline. So it's interesting because the heart flow is a ascending flow, but when we practice it, it's descending. So there's a descending aspect to it as well. The steps on the flow are descending, right? From 17 up here to 22, 14, opening our waistline, and just wait, I think it's the other side, Alicia, have here 14. And now leave your hand on the 11. Leave your hand on 11. No. Leave your hand on 11 here. Where you had it. Place your, okay. Okay, now place your left hand, that's right. Right, so we go from 22 to 14. And sometimes that's what jinshin does to us. It makes our mind go this. We like, oh, what's my right and what's my left? And that's totally fine. But if I see your picture in front of me here, then I will tell you. But you cannot really go wrong because it's probably what you need. And I know you've asked questions like you have something here and something there. And so that's mediator. And we see even in this flow that there's a mediator aspect, right? We're holding this 11 and then we move to the other side. And then later we cross again to the other side. All right, one more exhale here. Letting go of all you don't need. And it's interesting that we don't hold 13 in this flow, even though this is the heart flow and it opens up the heart. So by using these steps, we're opening up the heart flow. That's why it's called an adjustment. And then the next step is 15. So just move your hand down to 15 on the same side here, 15. 15 is very important to the heart on a spiritual level. It brings about joy and laughter. And it opens our heart, the 15, on an emotional level. Mary Burmeister says, wash your heart with laughter. And we know that the 15 sequence helps with heart projects. So 15, wonderful. So now we're moving below the waist. Again, descending, even though it's an ascending flow. That's why they're so interesting, these flows. So it's very much about your intention too. Do you want to bring the energy down? Do you want to move it up? Moving up with the 11 and bringing it down with 15. And then the next step is we'll move to our opposite one. So you see how we're moving to the opposite side again. So we're starting on the opposite side here and then moving it again to the opposite side. So there's a great mediator aspect here, moving from right to left and left to right, and also moving from our upper body to our lower body. Number one is the prime mover, moving us forward in every way, spiritually, digestively, physically. So if you are a procrastinator, then it's very important to hold your one to get things moving. And every flow we practice, they all help and harmonize the respiratory system. Within the flows, and also if you think about it, when we practice, we get into the breath. Our breath automatically becomes deeper. But even if you look at the locations, all of them have an aspect of harmonizing our respiratory system. So this is a great flow for upper arm pain. When the eyes become yellowish, that's a sign that we need a heart flow. Like I said, the heart flow moves through the eyes. Vision, blood circulation issues, hair loss, hair thinning, Parkinson's labels. This flow can be helpful. The fifth depth supports Parkinson's-like conditions. So that's a good flow to work with. Hair graying, if somebody is willful, then the heart flow is good. The astrological sign is Leo. I will. So good for willful people. Strong. And like I said, the heart flow is, the heart organ is a strong organ, the organ itself. And then let's move to our location number 5. I'm going to lift my foot up here. Location 5, this is the ankle bone. So it's right below the ankle bone. So you can do a figure 4. Or you can that if it's not comfortable, you can't reach it, then you can stay on the 1 or go as low as you can go. These energy pathways, they move along to the toes, so you can really grab it anywhere on the line if that's more comfortable for you. If you like foods or drinks that are bitter in taste, it's an indicator of the heart flow, or if you're craving it, then give yourself a heart flow to harmonize that. Bitter like coffee, or I think red wine can be considered bitter also. But you know it, and so that tells you something about the heart flow. This is also a great flow for varicose veins. Again, it helps blood circulation. The element is fire, and the season is summer. So we're just ending the summer here. So again, great flow to leave the summer with a bang with the heart flow. And then the last location is holding 7, which is the pad of the big toe. And I lift it up again here. So you don't want to practice jinshin like this, all right? You want to be more comfortable. You can, again, be in figure 4 or however, or ask somebody to hold your big toes for you. The big toes clear the mind. The big toe, number 7, there's a moment of stillness there where the exhale becomes the inhale at the tip of the toe. So knowing your locations is important. And for those of you who are taking the London PCP class, we're going to send you a webinar beforehand with the basics. And so understanding the locations and their functions and what they mean is important before we jump into this PCP class. So you have the foundation, understanding the locations, where they are, what their function is very important. So that's the end of the heart flow. Let's gently take off our hands. How does that feel? So again, a quick hold for the heart flow is holding the the little finger, and you can practice one side or both. And there's also mudras like this one, where you hold the little finger and the ring finger together. That also helps the heart flow, right? And one of my favorites, the heart mudra. Wonderful. So like this, the heart mudra. Also opening the heart and helping the physical heart. So great for heart palpitations, projects like that. When you hold it like this, see if there's any tenderness here on the, if there's any tenderness on the bottom of your little finger, or you can slide your fingers up to see, where it needs to be harmonized. So wonderful. All right, I'm going to stay another moment on here with Meetup. We'll sign off on Facebook and Insta. See you tomorrow for Wellness Wednesday. Thank you for joining. And the heart flow, you can find it in the Art of Jinshin book or in the core textbook. And Tanya will put it in the comments. See you tomorrow. And Meetup. Hello again. Hi. Do you have